Are you there, Dan?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can
Okay,
you hear me?
we can.
Okay. We're all set then.
Look what I have. lots of people.
Bring up the fact
Organize that a little bit. And I mean, yeah. Well, yeah, totally. We'd like to see some of the culture.
I'm in a meeting.
Oh, I agree. Just the contributions. And if you want a contribution, come and talk. Yeah.
You're more patient than I am.
That's
been the more patient than I am. I just take out.
Yeah. Right, exactly, because they just, yeah. So we're. We don't have to memorize every detail. We don't have to.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we don't, but don't, we have to change parts of it. We have to, that's the council.
Still waiting.
I don't do
Physical
this
survey.
Still waiting for my Bill Gates authorizes to trip to Florida.
Did you? Yeah, I know, but shouldn't we ask the other council for their
Chief
feedback?
dropped the papers on my desk
And
and
how
I
does
was
it
like,
consent?
cause I left you the original to see the signature.
How we put it in.
Yeah, for the,
Then I didn't get a signature, so she's on the other one.
yeah, I'll make sure I get that.
Easy lets you know whether they get all the way to the last and make the pitch. He wants to know what the pitch.
I would like to, right, because we did give some to, they didn't get as much as they wanted, but,
Another year.
yeah.
I wrote that right from the get-go.
Let's just
I just say, yes, so much, it'd be nice to see.
Here's some of the Indian accent.
I will be.
Kevin. Yeah. Is this the new Delhi Delhi? Yeah, I'm not falling for that. You work for the social security, they're going to send the police after the sheriff after me.
It's something that we've got to stand for.
Well, make sure it gets
We're-
some
More, since you're gonna try to figure out how to make artificial intelligence develop the job. So, what could possibly.
No natural.
Support the people who are doing it.
Do I need to read the letter of support as well?
I think we'd be good because.
No, I don't know, well, I got to read them, that's fine.
Yeah. Well, one of them is more public input and two of them are like for the public hearing.
This is a public hearing for,
So that's right.
For the Arbor grant.
Hillcrest.
I'll read that, at the public hearing.
Yeah.
Would that be?
Yeah,
Right to,
yeah. I have another one here, which I thought was sent to.
Read that.
Just if you love.
I don't think. I thought I had it just the downstairs.
Snowmobile every year, landowner, small landowner, yeah, it's serious.
Yes, he has a document.
Do you want to go?
No.
Where am I going? It would be, it's at Jeff's Catering, the last weekend of April.
We were already planning on that.
Yeah, it's just, we're having a public hearing.
Oh, okay.
So,
Maybe I was just reading because I thought I was like gonna sign it and send it to Daniel, but that didn't. I just wanted to see that one, yeah.
Not 3/4 of my acres.
Nope.
Not now. Why didn't we go just support, you
Plaque to show for it.
know, from the meetings,
Devastated response.
we were wondering, should we
we
say,
know that enough today.
I guess Gary said that, she said we support the women, get the children.
Right.
Or should we continue to?
Oh, I would just say we support it when those are for mine.
We're out boom mowing the trails.
I mean,
Oh, we
that's
gotta
what
stop
it's
the trail.
for, is
Yeah.
mine.
Court for old business.
Just to the point that I almost hung the phone up. I said, you can't talk to me about this. I'm all done with this conversation. Then she waited for me, it's gonna be slightly.
I have a signature sheet So you mentioned Mike, you mentioned Mike, his dad Charlie, and my dad are brothers. Yeah. He's a connection. Kind of. Except for my dad just kind of sticks around his house is done.
Are we looking for right? Or just
How long a stretch do you have to?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Dan Zoom.
Okay, I'm gonna open the, welcome everybody to the Monday, April 10th, 2023 council meeting. We'll start with a roll call. Counselor Gahn is absent and excused. Counselor John Morrow is absent and excused. And Counselor Bagley is joining us via Zoom, and let's make sure you can hear us, Dan. And my microphone should be on.
Mine
There, my microphone's on.
wasn't on either. Yep.
Can you hear us?
You
Perfect.
can hear us?
Yeah, we can. We can hear you and see
Okay.
everything, so. Yeah, so with that, takes care of it. And item number 2 for the invocation and inspirational thought, we have Reverend Ron Rosser joining us again this evening, and it's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Where's he putting that?
Let's please bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord, for yet another day here on earth. Lord, you've given us the graciousness of life, the goodness. And Father, we come now to ask blessing upon this group of individuals who set aside a part of their life and their time to serve their community. We're very thankful for that, Father. We ask that you provide wisdom. Lord, let them know when to stand firm and let them know when to compromise. Help them make our community a better place than it already is, if that were possible, Father. And Lord, we ask tonight also the safety of our protectors, our fire, our police, and our city workers, Lord. And we also give you thanks for those who work in the town office to make sure that everything is running in order and that liberty is being secured for all who enjoy the freedom of this town. Be with them tonight, we ask, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Welcome to stay and join us. If everybody would rise and please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll start. I have a couple, before I ask the audience, I have a couple of public forum emails that were sent in. I'll start with this one. I can. I'll start with this one. The Caribou Fire and Ambulance Department.
That's for the public hearing.
That's for the public hearing. Okay, so I have one
Yep.
hearing. And you're here. Would you like to read this, or would you like me to read this?
No, Matt's not here.
Matt's
Oh,
not
I
here?
thought that was us.
Oh, I
Sorry.
thought- okay, sorry. No, it's not. Sorry. Yes, okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so let me just do this for public hearing
Yeah, she does.
over here. And, hi Danielle, I'm passing this along for my husband Matt for tonight's council meeting. Thanks. Dear council members, my name is Matt Till. I work for Spectrum as a maintenance technician. I apologize for not being in tonight. I have men's league basketball championship game at the rec and I just can't miss it. A few months ago, I stood up and told the city council that I believe Spectrum was the way to go as far as city investment goes. I wanted to send a note today to reiterate that point. Spectrum has the fastest, most reliable internet speeds and the company depth that is needed to go along with providing and maintaining this service. As I understand it, the Pioneer broadband proposal would have an administrative employee and a few on-call electricians to provide service, maintain lines, and provide emergency assistance. Further, it is my understanding that it is said once this system is installed, there will be no maintenance required. I'd like you to please think about technology in general. In a broad sense, have you ever known it not to need updating? In fact, the lines and fiber optic system need so much regular maintenance that there are 7 full-time maintenance technicians in Aroostook County, 3 that live here in Caribou. To put it in perspective, Spectrum has 11 full-time employees that live in Caribou alone. These employees, along with their co-workers, work to install and maintain quality service. This does not include the many customer service representatives that are involved locally and nationally. My point is that it is going to take more than a part-time service team and 1 administrative professional to keep a system like this working smoothly. Lastly, I'd like to note that not only does Spectrum provide a needed service to local businesses and homeowners, it provides high-quality jobs to more than 11 Caribou residents. These residents and their family are very involved in activities that support the Caribou community. I'd like to see the City of Caribou support Spectrum in their proposal to bring line extensions to our area. Thank you for listening. Matt Till. And we'll put that into copy that into the minutes, please. And I believe that's all I have to read. Now I'll open it up to the public if anybody has anything they would like to bring forward to the council at this time, to the public. Okay, public forum's closed. 5A, we have the regular city council meeting, March 13th, 2023 minutes, pages 2 to 7 in our packet. Everybody had a chance to review those. Any errors or omissions?
Move to accept.
Second.
Move to accept. Discussion. Bagley.
Aye.
Boma.
Aye.
Terrio.
Aye.
Willie.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Now we got some really fun stuff here.
Your favorite part.
It is. It's a favorite part. So this is great stuff. We got the distributor and everything. It's a wonderful thing. Bid openings, awards, appointments. We have certificates of recognition for the Aroostook League senior scholar athletes. And
Here, do you want me to read about that
yes,
real
please
quick
read
here?
about those, and then
Okay.
I'll present the certificates. Thank you.
The Aroostook League held its annual Senior Scholar Athlete Banquet on March 16th and honored senior scholar athletes from the 17 Aroostook League high schools. All representatives have demonstrated outstanding academic, athletic, and leadership accomplishments over their high school years. Eastern Aroostook RSU 39 and Caribou High School are pleased to announce that students Kaylee Bao and George Furland have been named the 2022-2023 Aroostook League Senior Scholar Athletes. Very awesome job.
If you want to read that first certificate.
Sure. So this first certificate is going to Kaylee Bao. On behalf of all Caribou citizens, the Caribou City Council presents this certificate of recognition to Kaylee Bao. Congratulations.
And then we don't have,
Next certificate we have.
he's not here.
Yeah, the next certificate is for George Furland. So I don't know if we can maybe try to
Anybody
get
here
this
that-
to him at some point.
Sure. Can you?
You don't mind? Thank you.
Or can you get the certificate too?
Greatly appreciated, thank
Picture
you.
of Kaylee with the rest of the council.
Yes.
Yes.
Let me get back up here. Where do you want us?
We can come down. Do you
Let's
want
all
us to come down?
Yeah, come on down.
Come on down.
Come on
Get this
down.
done.
Get Dan in here too.
Ouch. It's like over the river, through the woods. Gotta go the long way.
Standing in front of someone. Okay, so smile, Dan. We're trying to get you on camera too. Do you want us to move that podium, Melissa? Okay. one
Can we
for
do a
me.
funny one? No.
Yeah, we can do.
What about Penny? Doesn't she get a shot?
Yeah.
Everybody say cheese.
Cheese,
Thank you.
broadband.
Congratulations,
Yeah,
Kaylee.
George is Kaylee.
Okay, number 9.
Sure.
Penny, you should be in the next shot. What about Penny?
Oh, no.
No? Okay.
I'm just staff. Thank you very much.
No, you aren't. You're the person who keeps us running. Yeah, really.
So. Makes this facade-
Is one of your other favorite parts.
Yeah, it is. Like, we have 6B, the facade improvement grant award for 149 Bennett Drive, and all right, I'll let,
The Deneen's are here.
so here, I'll start off.
Those are
with
the people in the corner you keep trying
You
to.
keep wanting to-
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
And,
So when you come, you need to sit down and like, don't make eye contact.
So, I guess, can you just give us a brief on the facade program before we go to this? Because it's a pretty neat program that's kind of materialized the last 3 or 4 years.
Sure. So as part of our downtown TIF district, we have a facade improvement program, and we have it twice a year in the spring and fall. And applicants whose properties are located in the downtown TIF district can apply for facade improvement grants for up to $7,500 to improve the facade of their building, which helps everyone because it makes a more dynamic downtown business district. So in October 2022, Martin and Megan Deneen purchased a property at 149 Bennett Drive in Caribou to be the new home of Skin by Megan Deneen, a skin aesthetic facility from procedures to medical grade skincare. The exterior has been remodeled to include new windows, siding, and lighting. The Facade Improvement Committee met on March 28th and voted unanimously to award $7,500 for a major facade improvement remodel. And the Deneen's are here, so they can tell you more about their business.
So thankful.
Well, let's bring motion
great.
first to accept this.
Yes, I make a motion that we accept the results of the Facade Improvement Grant Committee and award a facade improvement grant in the amount of $7,500 to Megan Deneen for the property at 149 Bennett Drive in Caribou for a major facade improvement.
Second.
Motion's
Streaming. Me too.
Do we have any discussion on this topic? Bagley?
Vote
Aye.
Boma?
Aye.
Terrio?
aye.
Willie?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Now, you have the opportunity to get some free advertisement here and tell us about your business if you'd like. Please come on up.
So-
And,
You
your
come
new
to the
business,
microphone.
Secure-
Go ahead.
Come to the microphone.
Come right up to the mic.
And get some publicity.
My name's Megan Deneen. I'm a nurse practitioner. I've worked for TAMIC for 12 years. I've always loved skin and dermatology, so this has always been my calling. And I just want to share it with the people of Aroostook County. We don't have these kinds of services. I treat all ages from young adults to teenagers to women and men over the age 65. So skin health is very important to me. If you all know, the dermatology wait list is about a year to 18 months. And so I'm trying to provide a service to Aroostook County so we can get people in to get, their skin checked, biopsies, rashes, any kind of dermatological condition that somebody may or may not be able to get into. And then as well as cosmetics, so everybody wants to look good, right? So I offer non-surgical alternatives, and yeah, that's my passion and my service that I'd like to bring to Caribou and Aroostook County.
From what I hear, your clients are also very passionate about your service.
Yeah. Yes.
When I talk to people about, gosh, aren't they doing a great job on the building, and we're so excited for them to be in our downtown, people will say, oh, she's great. I'm not going to tell you what I had done, but she's fantastic. So,
Yes.
yeah, everyone's very passionate too.
Thank you.
about
Yes, the goal is not to look different. It's just to look refreshed and like you, just refreshed, rested. So that's me. So.
Thank you for choosing
Thank
Caribou.
you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you very much.
So, some of the items. We have a public hearing.
Thank you.
Public hearing, we have the 10 to 15 for the county ARPA application. And should I read this part here? A letter of intent was sent to the county of Aroostook for the 2023 ARPA program. City of Caribou received a notification eligibility email from the county that the project was eligible to move to the full application process. A part of the application process is having a public hearing tonight, a public hearing which will be held tonight. The grant application is for 50/50 match for needed protective gear for the fire and ambulance departments and emergency communications equipment, including a new tower for the Emergency Operations Center. A copy of the letter intent is attached. We'll open the public hearing at 6:15, and as we start off, Deputy Mayor Bowman has a letter to read.
Yeah, we have 2 letters, right, Penny?
We have 3, actually, because I thought that this one had been sent to Danielle, but it was only sent to me, so.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'm going to read, I'll read the first letter. This is from the Caribou Fire and Ambulance Department, Chief Susie. The Caribou Fire and Ambulance Department is requesting your assistance in funding new turnout gear for our firefighters. With 75% of our members with outdated, worn, and substandard personal protective equipment, our members are at much greater risk of being injured by fire or exposed to bloodborne pathogens, as well as harmful PFAS off-gassing. Upgrading this substandard equipment has been a high priority for the Caribou Fire and Ambulance Department. Our current replacement plan has tried purchasing new sets of gear. Unfortunately, with the times being what they are and revenue being so tight, this goal is almost impossible to achieve 100% compliance with current standards. This extended replacement program extends the time that our members will be at risk when doing their jobs. We feel that when we reach 100% compliance with NFPA standards, that the city replacement schedule could be maintainable by the Caribou Fire and Ambulance Department with yearly deposits in a capital account for future replacements. This updated personal protective equipment would keep our members at the highest level of protection that is required, more importantly, that they deserve. This turnout gear will provide our first responders with protective gear that will improve safety for entry operations into fire EMS situations that are most prevalent in our area and our surrounding communities, and keep our first responders safer on the roadways we protect and their personal health. The gear we currently use is unsafe, worn out, most being older than 10 years old, the reflective strips discolored and worn. We have had this gear repaired and cleaned on a regular schedule in order to keep it in the best condition possible. Many of the stitches have deteriorated to the point where they pull apart while firefighters are operating in hazardous areas. Most recently, the gear has been used to protect staff during the COVID-19 outbreak, again getting used beyond its needs. The total of $91,000 represents the full amount of the project for replacing worn-out gear with low PFAS gear and a proper gear extractor and washer. The lower PFAS will not only protect our firefighter during an incident, but after, when the gear is washed, it will have a lower amount of dangerous off-gassing, unlike our traditional gear that we currently have in use. The gear will also be properly sized for the firefighter, allowing for the best protection and workable gear. With financial help from the county ARPA grant program, it will not only keep our current firefighters safe, it will aid in recruitment of new volunteers by the public seeing the investment we are making in the safety of our local first responders. We can easily complete this project with the 1-year requirement, within the 1-year requirement. If awarded this grant, we would be able to move quickly towards implementation. Within 60 days of the grant award, we would have everyone fitted for the equipment. Within 12 months of the grant award, we would be able to have this new equipment on site and be able to utilize it. We are ready to move forward for the safety of our department. I thank you for your consideration. Respectfully, Chief Scott Susie.
Thank you, Courtney. I also have a letter of support from the Caribou Police Department. The Caribou Police Department would like to thank you for the opportunity to be part of the Rescue Plan Act application grant process. As outlined in the application, COVID-19 threw the Caribou Police Department into several daunting tasks never attempted by a city or town of our size. The Caribou Police Department became the only facility in Aroostook County to temporarily hold prisoners not only for Caribou, but for half a dozen other departments in Aroostook County. When the Aroostook County Jail went offline in the early stages of COVID, the Caribou Police Department not only housed these prisoners, but we devised a technological plan with the jails, courts, and other facilities throughout Aroostook County so that prisoners could meet with their attorneys, meet with judges, be processed locally right from our facility. The diversion of implementing these new tasks and staffing them, with 14 officers took away from body-worn camera purchases and updating our antiquated radio communications tower. It's no secret that the above upgrades were not only imperative to reducing liability, but they are also essential for Caribou's emergency infrastructure to remain viable. A recent study was conducted by the University of Cambridge's Institute of Criminology, found that body-worn cameras reduce the use of force by roughly 50%, and complaints against police also fell 90% during the study period compared with the previous year. If awarded the 2023 American Rescue Plan Act grant, the City of Caribou would be able to move forward with the modern technology upgrades that we could not afford to implement otherwise. The officers and staff at the Caribou Police Department hereby submit this letter of support to be attached as part of the application process. With gratitude, Sergeant Keith Willett, Chief Michael Gahagan.
I also have one that was it was sent to me, and I guess I thought it had been sent to Danielle, but it wasn't. So, Caribou Fire and Ambulance Department provides fire coverage for 5 communities and additionally provides ambulance for 12 communities. Our current turnout gear was purchased in 2015. This gear has reached the end of its usable life. Many of this gear was damaged in the windstorm that happened in December of 2022 when a tree fell on a propane tank at the Caribou Nursing Home. In August of 2022, the International Association of Firefighters joined forces with the Metro Chiefs to bring attention to the health risk posed by PFAS in turnout gear. PFAS, also known as forever chemicals, are a category of manufactured chemicals linked to cancer and other occupational diseases and are typically found in turnout gear. PFAS has been linked to cancer, which is a leading cause of death for firefighters. In a study published by the National Institute for Occupational Safety and Health, identified that firefighters have a 14% higher risk of dying from cancer versus the general public. PFAS-containing materials have been used in turnout gear since the 1940s to repel both oil and water. The newer turnout gear that is now being manufactured today has lower PFAS-containing material. According to the guidance provided by IAFF, PFAS-free turnout gear should be purchased when it becomes available. This new gear would greatly help with the health of the firefighter of Caribou for many years to come. And this is from Scott Dow, who's the president of the Caribou Professional Firefighters, Local 5191.
Do we have any other, I think that's all we have for written testimony on this. Does anybody from the audience or the public like to speak on, or anyone from the council on regarding this? Okay. So, yeah, go ahead.
I just have a question. Are the ARPA funds, are they are the two fire and police competing against one another?
No,
There's
no.
enough money for
It's-
the...
Right.
Okay.
The application that we submitted was for both projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two separate applications.
Nope,
No,
same
one-
application.
same
One with
application.
both? Okay.
Yeah, with both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No, we're not
clarification.
pitting departments
Well,
against
that's
each
when-
other.
when I was
That's very
reading
bad
this, I-
practice.
No, we don't.
How do you choose?
No. Okay. Everybody's pretty. We love all of our children the same. So, no.
Okay, so any other discussion or any from the public hearing? I will close the public hearing at 6:24 p.m. And what are the wishes of council?
I make a motion to approve the City of Caribou 2023 Aroostook County ARPA program application in the category of public health and negative economic impact.
Second?
Motion second, discussion. Bagley?
Aye.
Bowman?
Aye.
Terrio?
Aye.
Willie?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And just a quick question of that, when will we know? When will you have an answer? I mean, broad,
It
but-
closes at the end of April, so we'll probably hear in May. That's when we heard last
That's
year.
good.
Yeah.
just that
The
quick.
decisions are made locally, so we get an answer a little quicker. Then, like, for example, the Brownfields grant, which I go to bed thinking about every night, and
Every
I
night.
just
Can't wait to hear.
Peter, well, that's good. So next, we have a public hearing of Chapter 15 of the Nylander Museum. That is going to be on pages 16 to 19. We'll open a public hearing at 6:25. I can just open this before I turn it over to, I believe Peter wants to speak on this. At our last meeting, there was some discussion about where we're going to go with the Nylander, and I think it was kind of a consensus that we would change it back so that we have a working board again, and move forward with that and see how it goes. And that's the purpose of this public hearing, is that we can get input on this, and then council can make a decision after that. And I believe we have Library Director Peter Baldwin here that would like to speak about this ordinance.
Yes, good evening, Mayor, Deputy Mayor, City Councilors, Penny. Speaking as the Library Director and current Acting Department Head for the Nylander Museum, I do not believe it is in the city's best interest or in the Nylander Museum's best interest to remove the administrative powers of the library from the museum. The library itself, well, not the library, myself has been looking over the museum for the last year, making sure that the sprinklers get inspected, payroll goes through, and providing whatever materials are necessary. The library was put in place about a year ago, little over, just in an effort to reestablish a kind of city presence in there while dissolving the previous Nylander Board of Trustees. The Nylander Board of Trustees should absolutely be reestablished. Part of the discussions between myself, City Manager Penny Thompson, some discussion with people from the public, the board should and had been doing an incredible job keeping the museum up and running, but many of the problems that they encountered were the ability to access funding and do some of the more administrative things on a as-needed basis that the library can also provide as sort of an intermediary between the City Council and City and the Museum Board of Trustees. Taking this on or continuing to have this with the implementation of a board would significantly decrease the workload that would be expected of the library, as it would come down to purely administrative efforts, meaning the approval of payroll for the employee that is currently still there, as well as any additional that may be put in place in the future, as well as overseeing budgetary spending, as I do for my own department already. There are several benefits that come with being a part of a special collection of the Caribou Library, such as splitting the cost of certain things. The museum would not be fully responsible for paying for its own website out of its own budget line. It could split the cost of the library. The library has the ability to add up to 50 different domains onto its own website account. Act as department head and administrative authority over there, I would still be able to run that and sign off on splitting the website cost at no additional to the city either. In addition, the library has a number of partnerships. As a special collection of the library, we can use those partnerships to include more outreach, as well as our connections that we currently have with a lot of different media outlets and various other programming materials that we already bring to the library, but now to the museum as well. That's mostly what I had to say. Thank you.
Any questions for Peter on this? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Sorry, I would have a quick clarification for Peter, actually. So you are recommending that the library and Nylander stay connected?
I would recommend that the ordinance be adjusted to reflect that the Nylander Museum be maintained as a special collection of the Caribou Public Library with a working board of trustees.
Okay. Now, are you hoping to have like a part-time person in there to keep the day-to-day stuff going? Or is that something that you're planning to do?
I am hoping that with the efforts of a working board, as well
so
as
the
1 to
board
2
would- okay.
part-time employees, the day-to-day stuff would,
Okay.
for the most part, be handled just like it is at the library. Most of the day-to-day running of operations is mostly handled by the employees. There are things that it takes to keep the building running, and that is where I come in.
Okay.
So the recommendation would be that this ordinance as proposed would just be amended to clarify that the Nylander continues or becomes a special collection of the library.
It looks like,
So as it's written right now, we have, well,
I don't know, we want to make a special collection.
in this document here, yes. We still had the library director as making updates, but I see where part of that has been crossed out in regards to the special collection, so,
Right here.
yeah.
So you're saying that will also be very special collection for the library director. So we basically.
So all you'd have to do
So
really
it's
is
uncross that out.
right, is uncross that and then just make the
So put that
the
back in.
small
So
t.
put that back in, okay,
Take
so
the
we're-
capital T and the for the president of the board.
Yep.
Make that a lowercase t and pretty much. I mean, if you're trying to keep it simple.
Yeah,
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 we
sounds
are,
good.
we're trying.
yeah.
Okay, so any other,
So that's basically all that you're looking for, is that last paragraph to be
So
put back
pretty
in?
much uncross out the last paragraph.
Okay.
The original ordinance and
Yeah.
add in the stuff with board from the previous ordinance.
Okay.
How are we doing with board applications? Do we have somebody that's interested in being a working board?
We have a few, but these are really old applications from when you first been advertised.
Oh, okay,
And where
so,
there's no.
so we
technical
probably
board,
should reopen.
It's not like I can advertise for a board that doesn't exist until this.
we had
next
4 or
season.
5, I think, names.
so it would be appropriate to reopen the whole
We need
process
to
more
establish.
board.
Right, well,
We
if
need
you
to-
approve this,
Okay,
it
approve
will
this.
take
Got
effect
it.
in 30 days.
Okay,
And then we will.
and then we can,
Because we have to wait.
Then you can
to-
appoint
and
people to
deadline.
the board
we have
after
to
30
wait.
days.
We always have to wait.
Always have to
Sandy.
wait.
Oh,
Government
okay.
is a slow process.
Tired of waiting.
Well, we waited quite a while on this.
Yeah, no, I know,
Maybe a
we've
year.
waited a couple of years. I move that we,
I have to close the public hearing.
oh, sorry, that's right.
Any more questions on regarding this? And I will close the public hearing at 6:32. And
I-
what wishes of council?
I move that we accept the revised ordinance with correction, and that the ordinance will take place in 30 days.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Discussion. Bagley?
And to clarify, the corrections you refer to as the stricken text, the Nylander Museum shall be regarded as a special collection, et cetera, will be reinstated into the document. Is that correct?
Yes.
Correct. Correct.
Wanted to clarify. Thanks.
The vote's to you.
Can we get your vote, Counselor Bagley?
Aye.
Okay, yes, Boma?
Aye.
Terrell?
Aye.
Willie?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And Danielle will post that again to see what we have for.
And do we have to wait 30 days to post, or can we
No,
post?
it's into
Okay.
it, so We have to wait 30 days, we can choose.
Correct,
the date.
right, before
The
choosing.
applications are on the counter in the clerk's office and they're on our website already.
Okay, so that's perfect. So we got that taken care of. So we can, let's see, now we have reports, and 8A, we have reports, reports.
Acquired property.
Yeah, that's the next one. Reports by staff and committees, we have tax acquired property, map 34, lot 63, Dwight Hillcrest. And that is, I guess I can read this too, huh?
Unless Gary would like to read it.
Gary's here.
Gary's here, he can read it.
Gary, this requires just bring us up to date on it, don't have to read this. Just brief us on it, please.
Thank you, Mayor, Council, Manager Thompson. Back 4 or 5 years ago, when we were looking at the new ball field renovations out behind the National Guard building where our new ball field is located now, I had made comment to our past manager, and fortunately, Manager Thompson was in the conversation as well, and I had mentioned if we could ever keep any of those tax-acquired properties that would abut our new ball field, if the city would be so generous to keep that and keep it into the Parks and Recs domain, so that we there, if we had to get a piece of equipment on the backside of the property of the new ball field, we'd have an extra access. So 20 Hillcrest, map 34, lot 63 has become part of city's tax acquired property, and I'm here to asking if the city would be willing to sign that over to the Parks and Rec so that we'd have access to the backside of our new ball field. It's just a land only, I believe
It's
it's
the 3560.
3560, how many, is it 2/10 of an acre?
0.15.
0.15.
Very small.
Very small section, and it does give us an access to that back side of that property. The other request would be if we would be willing to abate the taxes on this property, and it was $567.41 as of Friday. I don't know what it would be today, probably $561.58. I don't know.
I think they've stopped charging
Okay.
interest, maybe.
And again,
No,
it's
he-
just a piece of property.
He gave it as 410.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
That was,
Perfect.
the property was what, you said like a tenth of an acre?
0.15.
I think when we discussed this
Is it big enough to get?
several years ago,
on?
we talked about that property being taxed. It hadn't been taxed.
It hadn't been.
But it was coming up at the
Correct.
time, and it has since, but 0.15 acres isn't really buildable. And I don't know if the neighbors would want it, and it would just become mowable.
It's just
And
we're just gonna mow it, but again, it gives us access to
Access to
that back
the back.
corner of our ball field, and it just make it nice to have that access.
Yep.
And then, okay, so that's, okay, anybody have any questions?
I mean, the city would still own it if for some reason you got mad at Gary, didn't want to
That's my
take it out.
question.
I mean, the city would still own the property. It's just.
We would just convey it to the,
Right.
under control of the rec department?
Well, it's just City of Caribou, and if it's grass and it's in Caribou and it belongs to the City of Caribou, Gary's gonna find somebody to maintain it.
We're gonna mow it.
That's just how, on boots on the ground, how it works, but, there is a lot of fencing there, so it is good to be able to have some access
Yeah,
to
it
that,
is.
which is what we talked about, I don't know, however many years ago that was.
It was in 19. I know
Yeah,
that, and then
so-
we brought it back up in 20, but,
Yeah.
it's nice to
Yeah.
have that little piece of section of property that we
Just for
can
access,
control.
so we're not
Correct.
asking the neighbors to trudge
Correct.
across their property to get,
Yep.
if you need to do anything with the fence.
Yep.
And this would get it off the tax acquired property list, which it's on right now.
It's on the list.
Yeah. On the
It'll
list.
still be in city title, but
It's
yeah,
just
it would
city
be off the
title, but we would
list,
just
yeah.
say, okay, we're not gonna,
Yeah,
this is what we're
right.
gonna do with this.
Mhm.
And we'd have to abate the tax.
Yep, $567.41.
Wow. What's council think on this situation?
I would make a motion to let Gary use the city-owned property and abate the taxes in the
Okay, you
amount.
need to have map 34,
Oh,
lot
sorry.
63.
34.
Yeah.
There's the,
Yeah.
there's that on it.
Okay. Map, where's the map? 34?
It's at the top.
34, okay.
Yeah.
34, okay. Map and lot 034-063. And
And debate the taxes
abate
in
the
the amount of,
taxes,
which is at the bottom.
567.41.
Correct.
So-
Second.
Is that what you need for your motion?
Okay. Anything else, Happy? So discussion on this? Bagley?
Aye.
Boma?
Aye.
Terrio?
Aye?
Willie?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
More lawn to mow, Gary.
Okay, so no, hey, this is even better than the other stuff. That one's tied up here with the manager's report. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Take it away, Penny.
Okay, so, Riverfront Power Plants, as I alluded to earlier in the meeting, we're still waiting to hear about our brownfields application that we made last fall. We were told by the University of Connecticut that they are hearing that successful applications will be notified in late May. The broadband initiative, the information has been received by the City Council Broadband Committee from Pioneer. And we met about that today, and then we received new information. I believe all of you got an email today from Andrew Butcher from the Maine Connectivity Authority. And I also sent you an email detailing my conversation with Mr. Allenby, also of MCA, and a conversation that I had with him today about, I guess I didn't know that that there was an application, but apparently Spectrum and Charter have made an application to MCA for a line extension project.
that would not cost the city of Caribou anything. MCA would fund around $500,000, and Charter Spectrum would pay just about $1 million to have line extensions to every address as it is right now in Caribou. So we learned all that today. It's a lot to unpack, so you do have some emails about all of that. The MCA committee is meeting on the 21st of April. We don't have another meeting before that, and they are looking for some feedback about the application. So that's something that we need to think about too. The Ogren Dump Solar Project. For many meetings, I always have no new updates, but I actually have an update for this meeting, which is the developer did reach out, and the project was not online April 1, so they have applied for a business equipment tax exemption for the equipment they do have on the site. It will be online by April 1, 2024, at which time they will apply for renewable energy exemption. So there's, I guess, coming from the assessing world, there's nothing like, tax time to bring people out and let you know what the status of their projects are, so that they're sure they are applying for the right exemption. Events and marketing, the citywide yard sale, May 19th, 20th, 21st. The details for Thursdays on Sweden Street events are being finalized, so if you're having a reunion, please let us know. We have heard from some classes, but let me know, or let Gary know, if you have a class reunion coming up. The Federal American Rescue Plan Act, we talked about already tonight. We had a public hearing. The city will be applying for funds from Aroostook County and use city ARPA funds as a match. In addition to, there were some funds that were put aside in the budget process also for turnout gear we can use. But Bird's Eye Cleanup, students at University of Connecticut who are working with us on our brownfields in town are working on a potential design for the site that would incorporate areas for economic development as well as park, access to the other brownfield site, which is the steam and diesel plant, and of course the police station. So I'm very excited to see what they come up with. The Caribou Development Committee was approved at the March 13th meeting, and we do have candidates for the member spots, and the council will take that up at the next meeting. The Riverfront Master Plan, the Caribou Riverfront Renaissance Committee is submitting an MBRC grant letter of intent to request funds for a Riverfront Master Plan. The Facade Improvement Program was also on tonight's agenda, and we did have a very good application this year. I have so many misspelled words in here. It's distracting. The Caribou Economic Growth Council, at their last meeting, they discussed plans to proceed with legal action on 2 accounts. And the Caribou Economic Growth Council has funds to lend to businesses. So if you're listening to this and you have a business idea, let us know at CEGC or start the process at Northern Maine Development. For business outreach, the city is partnering with CKG Creative to design rack cards, and the first ones that have been produced have been very well received. We have racks out in the lobby. This was something that was brought up by Deputy Mayor Boma as a way we could start promoting local businesses, not only outside the area, but also just to our local citizens, so they know what's available. I know she's working on one for Gary. He's going to an outreach event with tourism later this month, and she's working on some of those for him too. So, tax acquired property, we have parcels out for bid. There was one on tonight's agenda. The Nylander also on tonight's agenda. Fire station renovations, staff has applied for congressionally directed spending request
to bridge the shortfall to make needed changes at the fire station. On the police station, staff had a video chat with Ellen Angel from Artifacts on our next step with that. On the River Road, Versant has been working towards a solution to the pole that was in the path of the temporary alignment. With the airport, there was a very informative conversation with the FAA regarding the current mobile home park site, which is part of the Caribou Municipal Airport property. The recent inquiry about residential units, in their words, raised some flags about overall airport operations. Staff has been made aware of items that must be brought into compliance, so the FAA will keep funding infrastructure projects at the airport. New LED streetlights, staff was contacted by Realterm because R.L. Todd said there were lights that need attention and staff will investigate. I have not investigated yet. Comp plan update, there was a good article in the Maine Town and City magazine published by the Maine Municipal Association about challenges faced by other communities in Maine. Since our last meeting, there was a meeting of Age-Friendly Caribou, and there are some good programs being scheduled from them. Personnel changes, the City of Caribou has multiple open positions. You can see our website for details. There will be some staff recognitions at the next meeting, and interviews for the Chief of the Fire and Ambulance Department will be held next week. Other updates, at the Cary Medical Center Board of Directors meeting, there was a discussion about the VA clinic. They have extended their lease again with Cary. And the city has signed up to be a part of the Maine Workforce Development Compact to receive funding assistance on various courses for staff. And I'll take any questions that you have.
Questions? Anyone from the public even at this moment? Open it up. Okay. Thank you very much, Penny.
Yep.
Manager's reports. Next, 9B, we have the Maine DOT construction over limit permit, the Westgate Road, that's 2532 in the packet, and the 5. Let's just keep this simple and brief, I guess. We've done this numerous times. They're doing, Maine DOT is doing some construction work, then they need to have access to Westgate Road.
Yep.
And we've, I can go through all the things here, but
Well, it's a town way, so they just need our permission and Limestone's permission, because part of it's us, part of it's Limestone, that's all. I make a motion to approve a construction overlimit permit for Maine Department of Transportation for the Greenlaw Brook Number 2 Bridge Replacement Construction Project Number 021696. Second.
Discussion.
Mr. Mayor, I do have some points on this.
Go ahead, please.
So, I did struggle a little bit in understanding what this was about, and I think I finally got to an understanding that this is kind of a blanket permit. There's no time limit, there's no time period that is specified, even though it says throughout all this that it should be. And as far as the roads on which they will operate, those haven't been defined either, because they just really haven't got a plan put together. Is it my understanding that is my understanding correct, that this is a blanket approval, and that we'll get more specifics on timeline and specific roadways that they're going to be using at a later time, and then an individual permit will be issued to those vehicles for that purpose?
I don't know about permits for individual vehicles, but I believe that they will let us know, but they need to have permission first, to be able to use our roadways so they can determine a plan of action for the
way it reads now is it's blanket approval, all times, all roadways. Is that what we want? That's how it's normally done.
I mean, did you have something that you would rather see for this?
Well, like I said, I kind of got from this that this is an initial blanket approval. Basically, the city is saying, yes, we will give you permission. But at a later point, when the plan comes together, there will be a timeline defined and there will be specific roadways defined.
It is.
And those permits, the individual permits will be issued at that point. That's how I read it. I've never been through one of these before, so I'm asking for clarification.
The location is for the Westgate Road.
Westgate Road, they specified.
Right, that's the construction area, but they're asking for permission to travel on any and every roadway in Caribou until we define it more clearly.
Agreement
See what I'm
states
saying?
must issue a permit for a stated period of time to the MDOT contractor.
What?
Over municipal roads. Is that the part you're talking about,
We don't-
Dan?
we
Over
don't-
municipal roads?
No,
On
we
the side.
haven't had
The
any
second
over,
paragraph.
yeah.
If you read the agreement.
There are a couple
that they're
posted.
asking us to sign,
I
it gives
saw
no
one on
timeline
Elder Road.
and identifies no roadways, basically is blanket approval first.
But I don't think we even have any, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were finished.
Well, I was, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I don't think, do we have any posted roads in municipal roads in Caribou right now?
Once in a while we've had.
We don't have any right now, but when it says the above referenced project, it gives a project number and the location is the Westgate Road. So I guess I did not interpret that as being,
Any road.
any road.
Yeah.
It's the Westgate Road. And if they would,
Vehicles have to travel to that construction site.
right, but they would be on state roads. This is a townway.
Yeah, they would travel over the main arteries, which are state-run.
Right.
And the only town road that I see would be the Westgate Road. That pertains to Caribou. It also pertains to Limestone, but isn't it right down the middle of that road is the town line?
Well, yeah, okay, so I read in here somewhere where it talked about, plan hasn't been put together yet, so we can't tell you what roads they're gonna be on.
I guess I didn't read that.
I'm fine going forward with this. I was just hoping that there was a precedent that everybody else was comfortable and knew what this was all about, because I didn't.
These are some good questions.
Everybody else is comfortable and we can go forward.
So on page 26 at the top, all it talks about is Westgate Road 2, about the Greenlaw Brook. And I would,
Right, that's the,
yeah, so I don't know. I mean, of course, on the Madawaska Road, the Greenlaw Brook crosses there, but apparently they're not doing any work on that end. And if they had to, I guess they'd have to let us know that, but, but I don't think they have a plan yet.
construction area as opposed to the roadways over which they'll travel to do that construction, because they're gonna be hauling equipment and materials and whatnot, or who knows where. Get there, from wherever they're coming from.
I see where, on page 28, it says why the blanket approval.
Right, but that's in like the FAQs, so
Okay,
I don't
okay.
know if it's, I mean,
Even yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I would think they'd have to have permission before they can even come up with a plan, because if they don't get
Right,
permission
from
and they can't
somebody,
use
then-
that, then they're
right,
gonna
they'll
have to.
come up with another plan.
Yeah.
They want an initial read from the city that, yes, we'll allow you, we'll issue you permits, but it's not specific yet until they come to a plan.
Till it's approved, or could be
Yeah.
this year, next year. Any other questions on this, or discussion, excuse me?
That was it.
Okay. Everybody has, so we have a motion second. Bagley?
Aye.
Roma?
Aye.
Terrell?
Aye.
Willie?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And let's see, we have the 9B, we have letter, NBRC letter of intent for the triple head of 33. And I did look at this real close, so I guess. You're on that committee? Are you on?
Riverfront, yes, I am.
Yeah, can you would.
This is just, they required, well, they asked the city for $40,000 to pay for the master plan. We did not give them the whole 40,000. They already had 10. We gave them an additional 10. Now they need to seek additional monies so that they have the 50,000 to go ahead with the master plan. So that's what this is about. And Karen is helping them with this Northern Border Regional Commission grant piece thing. So it's just to get the money to get started.
And this would basically be no different than any of these letters of support that we would be putting
Right.
in for congressional directed spending, ARPA money. We just
Right,
use
we're
something
just-
similar to that.
So, well, this is a two-part thing again. This is just for a letter of intent.
Okay.
So we'll actually come back and need a public hearing like we had tonight if we are given a letter that we can go to the full application stage. This is just a letter of intent.
To get it
Get it
going.
going, and then they'll take a
Yep.
look at it and say, yes, it meets their program guidelines. Although, we have, part of the process is you have to speak with your state contact for MBRC to see if it does meet. And we've had one like email, and then we have, Ken, is it Thursday that we have our?
I believe it's Thursday.
I think it's Thursday, we have our actual call with
With the
them.
guy,
Yeah. It's just part of it, part of getting points for your,
Is this a, excuse me, a matching? Do we, like, will they give 20, we have to give 20?
It's a 20/80, so we do 20%, they do 80%.
Oh, got you, 8 by percentage, okay.
And then we've already got some of that established.
Yep.
In our budget and what,
Mhm.
from actually from a donation,
Mhm.
correct, on the master plan.
Yep.
So, yeah, and I think you were clarifying that, this is two-part, so we know
Yeah,
this is
two
a letter of
parts,
intent.
yeah.
Intent
And
only,
we still
yep.
come back to the public hearing as we do with every other,
Yep.
Grant,
with
yep.
every other process. Okay.
I'll make a motion to authorize city staff to submit a letter of intent, LOI, for the NBRC Catalyst Grant Program 2023.
Second.
Moved and seconded, discussion. Bagley,
Aye.
Boma,
Aye.
Terrio,
Aye?
Willie,
Aye.
aye, carries. Good luck. Hopefully we can get some support for that. Okay, old business, I don't believe we have anything there. Okay, let's, we got,
When did, yeah.
we'll do that after reports
Okay,
of discussion
okay.
with mayor and council members. I'll start with Courtney. What do you have to, anything?
I don't have
personal?
anything for today.
Okay, Joan,
No, nothing for today.
Dan? Or
Yeah, just
Councilor
coming
Bagley?
back to the manager's report on broadband, the information received from Pioneer that you referred to there in that report is the result of the engineering study conducted by Big Pioneer, so we do have that in hand now. And that's available to all the council members to view and take a look at. We did an initial review today and during our meeting, just kind of preliminary. And we'll have a fuller report next time.
Okay, and thank you for tracking down that information. And, okay, now we'll go to Lou.
I want to start quickly. I reported on the show choirs going to states last meeting. The CCS, I always get the letters mixed up, CCS group got a gold, which is as high as you can get. The paperwork, this never happens in show choirs, no need to improve. It was a wonderful presentation. So they don't do for a second, third, or anything like that, but the fact that they got gold and no notes is huge. So
Get them down here for the next meeting. We'll get
there are
some
quite a few of
certificates.
them. It's quite a crowd. Maybe I can ask Amy if that's something that
Yeah, we've got
we
the-
could get it for the next meeting.
We had a bunch, last time we had a lot for the basketball, I think
Yeah.
that's really good.
Yeah, but we're talking maybe 20 kids. I don't know how many, but yeah, I can ask Amy if that's something she'd be
We
interested
had
in.
almost that
Yep.
many at the last.
Could do that.
We can do that. Ask her something.
I will. I'll ask. Did you want me to go ahead and
Go ahead, it's reports and discussion by mayor and council members, so your council members, so.
But did you want to go ahead first before I throw this out?
Okay, yeah, I don't have anything really to bring up here. Next regular meeting is April 24th, just telling everybody we still have openings for on the Economic Development Committee, that'll be, hopefully we can appoint those 5 people at the next meeting. I want to encourage everybody to get out there, so we get a big pool of people to choose from. And it'll be kind of exciting because it's going to be, they're going to actually it's new, so they're going to form the committee amongst themselves. There will be staff involved, the planning board, there's all kinds of people involved, but those 5 people will then choose, who they want for the chair, secretary, that sort of thing. Also the same with the Nylander board, we voted tonight to get, everyone can get out there, an opportunity. If you feel free on that, working board, let's see, what else we have, the next regular meeting's April 24th, and, reminder, just on the investment committee thing, just remind me whenever, so we don't get up against the wall when we have to, for the meeting time, because we got some things to discuss, some investments there, I don't know exactly when they would show her, but
I will ask the finance director.
I don't know if it's May or if it's June, but just, I know we have to meet once a year, so brought that up, and that's pretty much what I have to say now.
I had another quick, we did meet with the charter committee last week. We came up with a couple recommendations. They have been sent to legal, and we're waiting to hear back from that as to whether they're legal, and we'll then present them to the council for approval, and they will go into the fall referendum cycle. Okay, I would like to move that we support any company who will complete line extensions to every current resident in the city of Caribou and to include the current proposal from Spectrum Charter.
I will second that.
Second.
Okay.
And this is regarding to earlier what we said.
This is just support so that they know they've got our support.
And Penny can
Okay.
And
write a
Penny
letter.
can do a letter and go forward with
I'll
that.
send that to the council for them to review.
Well, we have discussion on this first before I take a vote, or ask for a vote.
I think I agree with the first part of it, but I was confused by the second part. Could you repeat that, please, Liz?
Yes.
I've got move to support any company who will complete line extensions to every current address in the city of Caribou, to include also the current proposal from Spectrum Charter. Yes, no? You're head of the committee, tell me.
Yeah, to include the proposal from, but that's still in limbo right now, though.
What's the
We haven't got
proposal?
a final proposal from them.
I think we're doing in reference to what we discussed with, I can't remember the name of the,
Right, well, what came from Andrew Butcher
yeah, the people we talked to today.
was only, what it says, this project would provide broadband service to all currently identified as 294 remaining unserved locations in Caribou. This fiber to the home build will be completed by the end of 2024. The project includes a total cost of $1,445,133, including $496,983 requests to MCA and a $948,150 commitment from Charter. Charter's financial commitment significantly exceeds the program minimum and average from other proposals. This project encompasses approximately 74.5 route miles. And that's all we've received about the proposal.
Isn't there something that didn't he want some feedback?
Yeah,
And this is basically, I think, what we're talking about.
What we're trying to
give some
give a
feedback.
letter. If he wasn't asking for a letter of support, he just wanted feedback that the council, which is where I'm going with this, that the council is open and would support
a proposal.
a proposal.
Yeah, it says, Says last fall, MCA received an application to our Connect the Ready program from Caribou Utilities District. While this application did not receive funding from MCA, we are mindful of your community's various broadband goals and objectives. We are taking this opportunity to notify the city and the utilities district leadership of this scenario involving Charter's Reach Me line extension application and to invite members of the council's broadband committee and utilities district to a conversation to clarify options for potential award decisions. MCA's board of directors will ultimately approve and ratify the Reach Me awards. Our goal is to collect feedback from the communities involved to ensure we have access to as much insight and context as possible while providing the board with the information to make informed decisions when approving funding recommendations.
So, Councilor Willie, would you consider amending your motion to, instead of saying the current proposal from Spectrum, because we do have a proposal, but I don't think we want.
Yeah, we don't want that current.
That's right.
Yeah, you're right.
But to amend that to say instead, we welcome a proposal from Charter Spectrum.
Yeah.
Without being specific to the proposal that we already have in hand. I don't think we're prepared to endorse that yet.
Right. Well, I guess,
A proposal,
yeah,
okay?
I guess the latest one
Is
is
the
maybe
one.
this one,
Yeah.
you know. It just says, as you hopefully know, Charter Communications Spectrum has submitted a proposal to the Maine Connectivity Authority, MCA Reach Me Line Extension Program. Through this program, Charter has proposed the following scope, which I already read.
Yeah.
I just,
And you could change that to the proposal that Charter has.
right, this
You know,
project scope, which has to
projects,
do with line extensions. I mean, in an ideal world, we would have more time to get
Right.
more
but they're
feedback,
voting
but
next-
literally this
This is next
email,
Friday, a week from Friday.
the email came to you at 2:23 to the council. It was later getting to me,
Right.
so I
So
don't
you're
know.
just saying
To get something out quickly.
he's
Right.
just saying a proposal.
Do you want to just reread
So,
it, Lou?
okay, so move to support any company who will complete line extensions to every current address in the city of Caribou. And we welcome a proposal from Spectrum Charter. Do we need to mention this, is it CHS?
That is on the table now? Or
That-
something?
Well,
that
like
has-
this scope, maybe, I don't know. I mean, what do you think of that as chair of the broadband committee?
We-
The current scope as
We welcome.
received in this email.
Yeah,
I don't
that's fine.
Okay, as long as we know that we're, because I have a motion and a second, so we are amending the motion.
Danielle needs to know
Correct.
what it is.
You're amending the motion.
Yes, I am amending the motion, thank you.
So that we don't have to vote and then go back. So we just know that it's being
So in
amended.
current scope,
As outlined in
as-
this email as of Monday, April 10th.
I just got one little thing here, I don't know if it'd make a difference, but in the beginning of it, see this, the proposal, if voted on,
I'm listening, go ahead.
okay, if voted on and agreed to, would not cost the city any money. Okay. So the beginning of it, we would support
Any company who will do it for free.
Basically, that's it.
Who made the second? Did you second that?
No, I don't.
I think I
yeah.
did.
Can
Yeah.
you amend your second, or
Yeah.
amend the second, so we got,
Okay, she finished
Yes.
rereading her amendment.
Rewrite it. So move and support any company who will complete line extensions at no cost to Caribou. And will reach all current addresses in the city of Caribou. We also welcome a proposal from the current scope as addressed by, as, I don't know, sent by Spectrum Charter as outlined in the email of Monday, April 10th. I'll fix it, Danielle. I'll rewrite it for you.
Penny, it's okay, write the letter.
Second.
Yeah, that's really what
Second.
it is. That's what
all we're
we're
trying to do is write the
Or
letter.
or send to them that we are ready to support this.
And then, and this is a letter of support to clarify to everyone before I go to the vote here, that this is, any of this has to come back to the council for a full.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
just a
yeah.
letter of
Right.
support as we're doing with every other thing.
Yeah.
We, in the past, we could bring in Caribou Utilities District here, we've sent a letter of support back a while ago for them for when
Yeah.
that project was starting, so just, everyone's listening, that this will be brought up at a later date, so we're just moving.
Just so we can get it in on
Get it in
time
on
for
time,
them
so
to, when they
with
vote
that,
next
Bagley,
week.
Aye.
Boma,
Aye.
Dario,
Aye.
Willie.
I think aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
This came so fast, and we've
Oh,
had
I
to look
know,
up
it's
so
just fast and
fast.
furious today.
Executive session, so still in reports and discussion with mayor and council members, cleans everything up, and no executive session, and okay, that's all I have.
Make a motion that we adjourn?
Second?
Bagley,
Aye.
Boma,
Aye.
Dario,
Aye.
Willie,
Aye.
aye. Close the meeting, microphones off, please.